So let's talk about learning history. It makes it so much easier to break it down this way. If you use something with your dog one time, pie bush. Pie bush is my favorite. Um, One of my old apartment complexes that I lived in. I don't know why. I will never know why. And this has apparently happened to other people. Weird, weird things. Baxter likes cherry pie, by the way. Um, there was a random piece of pie in a bush one day when I was out on a walk with Baxter. Forever in Baxter's brain, there was the option of there being pie in that bush. Um, Dogs tend to be single event learners. They learn safety history, who is unsafe versus who is not safe, situations that are safe, environments that are safe. This is where you get into fluency. It makes it so much harder for me to help someone understand what fluency is if they're not, if you are a single language speaker, um, if you haven't traveled, or even if you have traveled, if you haven't done um, some of a variety of culture and customs across the world. It's harder to go in and work in an environment if you don't understand the culture. Dogs being single event learners and even fluency and that learning history, they don't know when they're put into a new environment. When they get home, the hardest thing I think for people to get is that they have all the software they need. When I hand you all the handouts and the videos and all the information, I am giving you a training manual to all of the things that you could ever need. And I break it down, and I know it's a lot, but when you're learning history, you have to take into account everything that an animal has been taught. You have to take into account everything that has possibly ever happened with that dog. Rescue dogs, dogs we don't know history on, though it makes it a little bit harder, but we can see what has been safe versus what has been unsafe. Dogs that have been listened to versus dogs that have not been listened to. Dogs that have had the social rules explained to them versus those that have had them enforced. It's the difference between a reactive brain and a thinking brain. And it makes it so much harder for me to explain it on terms for some people to understand when dog training for so long has been on a reactive basis. And we don't need to be on a reactive basis with dogs. Dogs have they're smart. They're evolved to be alongside us and be with us, and they had to have some social understanding in order to get where they're at. Now, getting a dog to understand that, we don't want them to do what the millions of years of their evolutions, or the thousands of years of their evolution, and the hundreds of years of specialization of breed has happened. It's literally you have to unwind all of the things and look at what you have in front of you and look at how dogs learn and how dogs think in order to change how they're reacting when you have a dog that is in a reactive brain versus a thinking brain, because they're going to fall back on evolution and safety history before they do anything else. Peace out and happy training.